Hi guys, welcome to another answer video. Well, when I started this answering sessions, I did not really think about how long we'd go on for. But well, this is video number 11, and I want to really thank all of you for the amazing response that you have been giving me, even after somewhat delays from my side in the answers. So, there are a few things I would want to bring about. In the description of each video, you would have with serial number the question askers' names. And again, these serial numbers would be on your screen with the questions so that it's easy for you to navigate. Another thing is that I answer most of the questions unless it's a repeat from the same person. And also, I'm not really answering a few questions like, just tell us some general CAT preparation strategies, because I have got a lot of webinars wherein I have answered that, and these webinars links would be there in comment section. And again, you would get all the updates of my video on my Instagram account. My handle is Chhavi here. Over there, you can probably go and check it out. I would be posting stories on the day I'd be launching the videos so that it's easier for you to know when I'm posting the video. Otherwise, you can definitely subscribe it and you will get a notification. So, well, I guess let's go into this week's answers.
This is a misconception. They don't really ask about books and web series until and unless you mention that this is what you do in your free time. So in case you mention debating and e-cell etc., they'll ask about something interesting you have done over there. So don't think that you need to follow a hobby specifically, any specific hobby. It's completely fine. Whatever you are doing, if you show passion, if you show that you have enough knowledge about it, that is more than enough. Safe pointer would be something above 8.5 for engineering at least. So firstly, not all IIMs or colleges have this gender diversity criteria, like IIMA doesn't. But if they have, it depends on how many points they are giving relative to the total points. So during, I believe in 2017, IMC had it in a way that general engineer females could get in a call with percentile that was 0.5 less than that of their male counterparts. So it does not have a lot of difference, but yes, it is significant in some places based on the kind of weightage it is given. See, firstly, if you have 4 years of work experience, I don't know why you are so desperately looking for IIMA, frankly. You don't really need to go through the CAT route. You can go and do the executive MBA, which is more suited for you. And I guess you should not firstly quit your job completely. You can probably take 1 or 2 months off, because it is not good to have this kind of gap after so many years. While there are people who have so there's a girl who has 6 years of work experience, there are people who have 3.5 to 4 years of work experience, but they are in a minority. So it is not a common trend to see people who have quite a bit of work experience. And also similarly, so the people or the companies that come for placements also tend to have this idea that the majority would be somewhat with work experience of 0 to 2 years, and hence the profiles that come in are suited for them best. This is one thing that I felt, and that is why I believe you should look at executive MBA or a PGDM from ISB if you feel you want your worth of profile in the placements. See, almost all IIMs give weightage to academic scores, and not only during calls but also during your final selection decision. So obviously I have not researched on which colleges don't give much weightage. This is something you can do on your own. You can look at the websites of different IIMs. Whenever they release their criteria for each year, they give out what percentage they'll be weighing for each of the academic requirements that are there. And I guess that's it. There's no age factor per se. While there's no formal factor for gaps, they always take care of this in the interviews. And work ex is also mentioned in most of those. So I guess you can have a look at that. If you want, you can just have a look at the past trends and you will know whether or not you have to prepare for CAT. See, ideally the faculty should give you more time, but yes, I know that they also prioritize based on what kind of percentile the student is getting. Another thing could be try and form a group this time. So last year you might have known a few people who were there in your batch. So that is a good network point wherein you can identify people who did not get through last year and are still preparing, and then you can probably form a group of your own. If that does not work, I think you can take like another, so you can like take material, but I guess you already have material, so you can just take some kind of online mock series from time and take a little bit less established coaching institute. Say IIMS is kind of a middle tier currently, wherein faculty would probably give you more time, so that is something you can look at. I would consider myself in the type B, definitely not type A, because I have seen people who are like, you can just talk to them and you'll feel wowed. See, I focused on the coaching material of VMC, that is Vidya Mandir classes. I believe, so having read a bit of physics books, I know NCERT does not really do justice to, what really needs in the concept clarification. Also, I read a bit of Fiji coaching material, which was also very, very descriptive and did not really solve my issues. But I think Vidya Mandir classes books were like really good. They were succinct. But if you definitely want to read in detail, you can have a look at other coaching materials like Fiji, which gives things in a lot of detail. See, a seat in IIMA is a bit tricky with this kind of percentile. I don't really know someone who has such percentages and is still in IIMA. You might get some other MBA colleges, and for this overall thing you want to understand, I guess you should look at some of the webinars. The links are always there in the descriptions and the comments below. Taking one coaching class is more than enough. By taking multiple coaching classes, you'll just be burdening yourself. But that said, it's a good idea to like have one main mock test series and one mock test series which is shared with a friend or something. So you have exposure to different kind of UI and different kind of questions. I have a complete webinar on mock analysis strategy, so I guess you should have a look at that. I would be Gryffindor just because I really relate with the members of the Gryffindor more than anyone else. And I think more than anything else, the type of people, the quality of people and your alignment with them is what is important. Well, even though it was kind of mutual, I was the first one to confess that I had a crush on him, and the immediate reaction was kind of a reciprocatory sentence. My favorite Bollywood singer is Arijit Singh, but I believe there are a lot of new amazing singers coming up, and one song I really like is Naina Da Kya Kasoor from Andhadhun. Well, while I still see myself working in consulting, I'm pretty sure that I would have something significant on the side that I would be working towards. I don't know what, I don't know to what extent I would be able to do it, but I'm pretty sure that I cannot really do just one job. I am hoping that I would be having something else with me on my side. See, because this allows anyone to like teach you any kind of course. There might be some like good courses, some bad courses, and you need to identify using the whatever promotional video and trial that you get to identify whether this is a good course. And yes, it is probably, there are good courses, so it might be trusted and legitimate as well. I don't really know how much accreditation it is given in the industry, given that there are multiple online certification websites now. But I think if you want to like really learn, then yes, definitely a good source. See, now that you don't have enough time left, I believe that you should like just really focus on whatever content you're getting from the crash course. I don't know how well you will be able to perform just through a crash course, but if you are someone who can grasp things very quickly and probably keep on like doing some practice tests as well, because they will help you understand where you are really lacking, and then you can focus on just those topics because you have very less time left. So in this short period of time, this is what you should do: prioritize and focus a lot on your preparation. See, it's unlikely you'll get admission in IIM ABC, frankly. C maybe, because they give less weightage to past academics. You might get a call from them. Apart from these, the good colleges are, yes, FMS, and then there's IMLKSI. Also another like good colleges are MDI, and and also SIBM Pune, etc. So there are multiple colleges that are there, multiple options. And I think once you give CAT, then you'll be able to realize where all you can potentially get calls from, because there are multiple criterias that are used for giving out a call. Yeah, you can potentially get admitted into a decent enough IIM. What is the best way depends essentially on your own personal situation and preferences. So basically it would be like if you think that you can travel to the offline location, then it's good. If you think that there's no possibility to travel, then online is good. If you feel that you can study on your own, or you can at least discipline yourself on your own, then online is better. And if you think that you cannot, then going to a class and studying with a teacher is better. See, IIM tag does play its own role in getting a good package. Yes, just a good college and showing excellent skills can also get you that, but opportunities are more if you are coming with an IIM tag or an IIT tag. It's just about the opportunities. If you are good, eventually you will reach a very well and good package. See, I can tell you this in very small things. So basically, PGP is the flagship course. It is a 2-year MBA course that is generally in India focused on people who have 0 to 3 years of work experience. Executive MBA, on the other hand, is for people who have worked for at least 5 years and are now pursuing MBA to just enhance their overall knowledge of business. Also, there are smaller programs like courses for air defense personnels, etc., which can be relevant if for specific people. Yes, this will definitely affect your goal. 67% is actually a bit less, at least for the top IIMs. And you can potentially, if you think that you want to prepare, you can potentially give the exam and see if you get calls from some decent IIMs. You might get calls from the new IIMs and baby IIMs. And if not, then you can probably do MBA after getting quite a bit of work experience. If you perform well over there, then that will supersede your scores. See, if you think that you can actually get your CA done quickly, then it's beneficial, because during your CA you will also get quite a bit of work experience, which is good to have while you are when you are pursuing your MBA course. But given your marks, it's a bit difficult for you to get calls from ABC. I know you will be given diversity points, and it might be possible because your CGPA, actually your SGPA, sounds good. So I believe not in B definitely, because IIMB requires 85 to 90 above 90% scores in all the three. But yeah, probably you would have some chance in A or C, wherein diversity is given some significant points. No, I guess you can definitely improve, and LRDI is the section where you can improve the most in general out of all three. So yes, if you practice with a timer for a couple of months, it can help you, but I want you to understand where exactly is your position. So if you feel that even the easy questions you are unable to do on your own within 8 minutes, then probably start first with the easy questions with a timer. Do them in 10 minutes, then shorten your time, then do them in 8 minutes, then start doing them in around 6 to 7 minutes, then move further to the medium ones, wherein give yourself 10 minutes of time. And that is how you should progress, so that you are able to think well and think quickly, which is required. You should choose a non-technical line if you are thinking of UPSC. Also, many people start preparing for UPSC from 2nd or 3rd year only. So do that once you are sure that you have to do this. It requires a lot of dedication and preparation. So I think you should start preparing for it. Decide on the subjects that you'll be taking, and then start your preparation. See, going to 100 percentile, yes, it depends on your effort and your skills, but it is also a bit of luck, okay? In every individual mock, you cannot be sure that you will perform to a level that it ensures you a 100 percentile. And it will also depend on like how other people are performing, because it is in the end a percentile. So what you can do, what I had done was that identify exactly your gap. So when you are at 99 percentile, there are a lot of things you are doing right, but there are a lot of things that can be improved. So for me, I identified my accuracy and my percentage in each of the sections for different mocks, and then I realized that my accuracy in quant was somewhere around 80%, and it should be something above 90%. And then I spoke to my time professor, and then he said that even in class, when I give an easy question, then like you tend to falter and you tend to make a silly mistake. So then I realized that only because I was trying to do it very quickly, I was overlooking some factors. And he gave me a simple advice that when you are finally putting down the answer, just spend 2 seconds and look at what exactly is being asked and what really have you calculated. That helped me bring down my silly mistakes by a lot, and then I scored a very good percentile in quant. So you need to go into specifics, into your own specifics, see where you are lagging, and then focus on improving them very, very specifically. See, firstly, you don't really need to be financially strong to do MBA. You get enough loans, at least for the duration of your MBA. Then secondly, it depends on what really you have graduated in for me to tell you what you need to do in corporate field. Essentially, what you should do is try and identify where all your seniors or people with your kind of skills and certifications have gone, and then see if there are any opportunities in those companies or companies that are similar to them. There are a lot of companies who are looking for people, and you just need to like be matched with the right set of companies. Even while talking to your seniors, etc., you might identify that a few companies are giving them referrals as well, and hence they would connect them. All you should do is that you should like start working and then put in a lot of effort while you are working. When you so in work especially, along with your brain, your hard work matters a lot, hard work and dedication, and that will generally show. There are two things. Firstly, I believe that everyone should have a work experience before coming to do an MBA, because that gives you a lot of perspective, and it is in general better in understanding the overall business discussions as well. Secondly, if you are looking for a job, I think that you should really focus on something that you like. So if you like the technical aspect, go ahead, go for it. Even in the interviews, etc., it's good that you have any kind of job, so you can have a discussion on that. Another thing would be that probably you would really like this job, and you would not really want to do an MBA, because technical jobs also, people who are interested in the field, they really like it. If you feel you don't like it, then any other job like probably tech or finance or something would help. And yes, all of these would help in CAT, and all of these would be fine with your like interviews and final placements as well. For general engineer male, I'm pretty sure it is something above 99.7 or something. For general category male in other fields as well, it can fall down to around 95 or 96. While this is a bit unusual, but I believe something can be done. So there is a thing like married students hostel which is there. I know that you're not married, but you can probably talk it out with the authorities and see if you can stay with your mom there, because other people are staying with their spouses there. So something similar can be worked out, probably, most likely. If you want to crack PI, develop hobbies that really interest you. Now, say if you're interested in any particular sport, if you're genuinely interested, then you will be playing that sport, you will be following that sport, etc., and hence you can talk about it. So if you are like building any hobbies out of non-interest, then it will be clear in your PI as well. So just identify what you like. If you really like playing a sport, then that is it. If you like reading fiction novels, then that is it. People really spin these answers very nicely. I have given an example in my Unacademy Chamomile Tea with Toppers interview video. You can probably have a look at that as well. This would be somewhere around the percentage of reservation that is there, which is somewhat like 7.5%. So we can probably have a bit more number of people overall from the ST category. I really have no idea. We don't really discriminate people on this basis and don't really keep a count of them. See, these online programs, yes, if you're doing them from HBS, they would have some credibility. But the first thing that they do is that they build a lot of knowledge. And that knowledge, while it might not be very visibly affecting your overall personality or interviews, it will have its own impact. So while it might not really be very much applicable in the time of interviews, you can always have a talk like, why did you do these courses? So you can say something like, I was interested into business knowledge, into gaining business knowledge, and then you can say, then I realized that was why I wanted to do my MBA. So you can always relate things like this. I did not give any other exam apart from CAT because I was majorly targeting only ABC. I think MBA jobs are the one which are really not getting automated. Definitely there are a lot of softwares which are coming to help them, but overall in project management and in applying the business knowledge that you get here, it really cannot get automated, at least currently. Yeah, CFA level 3 does have some good credence, and yeah, of course it will get you a good job. I am assuming that you are just saying by just doing BCom and CFA level 3, if you apply appropriately, then you will definitely get a good job. Yes, CAT is an aptitude examination. So for someone, that is why for people who do not really practice a lot but have a good IQ are able to get good percentile, whereas some people really do a lot and realize that is not the kind of exam for them. So it is, even though there's a little bit of talent, there is a lot of practice as well, because it tests both your accuracy and your speed. But that said, if someone really doesn't feel that this is the kind of exam that is meant for me, then you should not really just go after it endlessly. 77 and 12th is less, but given that the weightage of 10th and 12th is almost there in every MBA college, I cannot really say which MBA college you would get into, but your 10th score is good, and if you do good in your graduation as well, you will get quite a few calls. I think you can take up the coaching material of any major coaching institute. That will give you not only the books, will also give you online mock test series, which are going to help you in the preparation. Yeah, as I have told many times, most of the students who come here have up to 2 years of work experience. That said, the trend is changing, and a lot of people, even now, around 10 to 12 people have a bit more than 2 years of work experience, or even a number more than that. And but that said, as I know that the companies that come look for people who have about 2 years of work experience and get similar profiles, so that might be a little minor, something that you would not like, a disadvantage. And if you think that you are currently in good shape and in a good job, you can probably look at executive MBA. See, the technique that could work here is identify some easy LRs that you were not able to solve on your own. Now see where you were missing out the logic. Then say after around 2 weeks, do these LRs again on your own and fix a time. So say in 8 minutes you will be able to do easy sets, and if you are able to do them in another 1 week, do them in 6 minutes. So this will first get your logic straight so that you are able to understand, and also help you think very fast, which is required. So start with the easy ones, move to the medium, and then to the difficult ones. This should help you. If you have done something in the 2 years, then yes, you might have a certificate for that. If you have not, then you can really not do much, and you can just say that this is something that happened with me, and be honest about it if it is brought up in the interview. See, learning 10 words every day is not really possible. You won't be able to remember all of those 10. So a better idea would be if you have a Kindle, for example, and you start reading some good books on it. Then on a Kindle you have the option of like just clicking that particular word and you will know the meaning. Otherwise, if you do not, then also in the phone also there's this app Daily Editorials, wherein you can read daily editorials, and if you click on a word you will get the meaning out of it. So I think that is a better idea. You should read different editorials every day. That will help you read very different type of genres, and also you'll be able to understand the meanings of words that you have not heard before. So while reading, when you understand the meaning of a word, that is more likely to stick onto your brain for long. Till the time your college has given you a degree that you have completed your course, you can get admitted into IIMs. However, if you want to write something particular about the project later in your resume during placements, then you require a particular certificate. If this is something you want to do, then this is fine. This is completely fine. You can probably take up some distance courses or diploma online on, say, anything related to business if you want to explore that. Or you could just join in some NGO and go, say, 3 to 4 days a week, and that would get you a certificate, as well as you will have something to do in your free time as well. I say this majorly because even though CAT preparation can take quite a bit of time, but if you just do that for very long, you might get frustrated as well. So it's a good idea to have something on your side to do as well. See, you definitely, all these academics do play a role in all of your admissions. In almost every single MBA college, they have a percentage that they give to this criteria. Even if you have 70% in these, you might be able to crack some colleges, not the top IIMs or IFMS, but maybe some newer IIM if you get a really good CAT percentile and perform very well in your PI. See, you are feeling this because of the pressure that is around you, and maybe because of this you are unable to perform as well as you should be performing in your examination as well. If you think you should look and go to a psychiatrist, I think that is your personal choice, and if you feel it has reached a stage that you need to do that, then definitely go ahead. Otherwise, you can speak to some good friend, etc., who will just motivate you to do really well and who will just help you to ensure that you stay focused. So if you have something like that possible for you, then that is another way you can go. And just do not think what other people are doing. Every person has their own time in their life wherein they do different things. So even though I'm just 25, I'm already married, and it does not mean that everyone who's 25 needs to be married by now. So that's just a personal thing, and everyone moves in some particular speed in their individual lives. Definitely, the subjects are totally different. The good thing in IIM Ahmedabad is that we get a lot of cases. So for every single new topic that we are reading, we get a real life case that has happened with some particular company. So we really get into the gist of how these things work in real life. And I think that is how it's really different, because in IIT, even though the studies are obviously amazing, but the real life implications or the connection is somewhat missing, which we get a lot over here. I cannot help you select one, but I can tell you, look at some kind of coaching materials complete package for a good material. Also, another good idea for joining a coaching institute is seeing your convenience as well, because you will have to go to this coaching institute many times in this particular year. So see that it is close by, see that there are probably a few people who are accompanying you maybe, but also ensure that the batch you are getting in is nice and has people with mental ability that can probably challenge you. So have a look at these things and then join. You can become a top writer on Quora by writing about one particular topic in great detail. So when you put in a lot of details, etc., they really appreciate it, and that is one way you can become a top writer. Other way is definitely gaining a lot of followers and then just writing a lot of answers. I understand that these issues might be coming in your mind again and again, but the thing is that firstly, do give proper time to your college examination, etc. But apart from that, just thinking about your future, how it is going to be. If I do not crack CAT, what will happen? If I crack CAT, which college I'll get into? These are very redundant thoughts, okay? These are not going to really help you a lot. Obviously have a backup plan. Always have a backup plan, as in case I'm not able to crack, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm satisfied with that as well. So that kind of gives you some confidence and ensures that you do not become very panicky in the examination itself. So these are a few things you should look after. Otherwise, if you think that you are wasting a lot of time in these thoughts, then probably get a friend or someone to check in on you every half an hour, or your family probably. So in every half an hour, they'll just look at you like, are you studying or not? And then probably you will slowly and gradually yourself just not think about all these things. I think if you are having a decent enough job, it is pointless in joining a second year MBA college, because just see the kind of increase you will be getting. So if you think you have a good job and you are earning decently and you have got good career prospects ahead, which you might or might not like in your overall life career, but if you think you are earning well enough, etc., then it is not really advisable to just join a second year MBA college. If you want to shift fields, then definitely a top tier MBA college would be something that you would want to join. And if not CAT, then probably in 1 or 2 years anyway you can give executive MBA examinations or join ISB for that matter. I took coaching from Time Jhandewala Center. It was an amazing center and the professors were great. And well, it is not necessary to score 90% above to get into ABC, but at least above 80% or 85%, because all of them give a lot of marks for your 12th score as well. No, there's nothing like that. People from state universities can also get into top IIMs. All you need is good 10th score, good 12th score, good college score, and then a good CAT percentile and your interviews. So these are the criteria that you are judged on. And even though there's some kind of bias, not really bias, some kind of appreciation for people who are coming from SRCC or DU, it is not that you will not be considered. I think you should go with some site that you have heard of. There are a lot of sites. I prefer Time and IIMS, but then there's also Career Launcher and An Academy and Byju's. So just go with something that many people are going with, because when you're giving mock tests also, you would want that you are compared with a lot of people rather than just giving the examination with some 200 odd people. So in Time, at times there were around 9,000 people who were 9,000 or around 20,000 people who were giving the mock tests, which was really helpful in identifying where you stand. See, from my experience, unless you do a lot of online courses in one particular topic, they will definitely enhance your knowledge, but they do not really add a lot to your CV. I'm looking at it from the placements perspective. That said, you can definitely look for an NGO to volunteer. That would be a good talking point, at least in your IIM interview. And starting a blog is also a good idea. If you get a good number of followers, etc., you can put it on your CV. Like I put my Quora, being a top writer on Quora credentials on my CV, because I had a decent enough number of followers and views. So if you reach a good level in any of your extracurricular activities, you can definitely put it on your CV. Awesome, thanks for the suggestion. I think I'll read it post my internship. I'm still unable to complete a few books that I am reading. So once I've done that, I would definitely like to give, wherever it's possible, the review of the book. And thank you again. See, people without work ex are not preferred, but it is not that it's a must. The work experience is a must. So the idea is that a lot of people do come as freshers as well. This percentage is kind of decreasing. In my current year, it's around 25%, but that's kind of it. And it's a good idea for you to work somewhere as an intern or anywhere. It will give you something else apart from doing your CAT preparation, and also help you in the financial crunch that you mentioned. So it's a good idea. You should join something. If you feel that you're unable to cope up with it, then probably you can look at it in another 3 months. Nothing is scrutinized very, very heavily. You can just say that you felt that I just wanted to focus more on this and I had worked quite a bit. Apart from that, what you can do, you can probably take a sabbatical if that is allowed in your in your job, and say that just take a sabbatical for 2 months. So that way your examination will be done and you will get some kind of free time as well. And if you feel like joining again, then go ahead and join. Otherwise, you can quit then. So that's a good idea. That gives you more options. I read the whole passage and then attempted the questions. One major reason for this was that when you read the whole passage, you get the essence of the passage. And a lot of questions are related to the essence of the passage. If you just read a few paragraphs and try to answer questions related to it, you might not get the whole picture of what the author was trying to say. So that's it. I did not give a lot of time reading every single detail. I did skim through it properly, so that I would just need to read a few lines again if in case required by the question. So for me, I did the 6 question RC in around 10 minutes and the 3 question RC in around 5 minutes. That includes reading it and solving the questions. See, the idea over here would be that you improve your reading. Now, how you can improve your reading? You can probably take up a few paragraphs. Do not try to solve any questions. Just read that paragraph and try to write its summary in 5 sentences. Okay? That ways you will be able to capture what the passage is completely about. And when you're reading again, you would be able to understand that, these details are important and these are not. And hence, the important details are something that will stick to you. Also, you do not need to really remember the entire passage, because you can always go back to it and look at a few details. So if there are, say, a few names, a few major names, etc. of people, you don't really need to remember it. You can always go back and check it if that is required by the questions that are asked. It's okay if you feel that you're average on IQ. If you work really hard and practice, you will be able to get into whatever college you want to. The idea should be to first identify your strengths and weaknesses and then go about in improving wherever you feel that you lack. I have given, complete webinars on your preparation strategies, so I think you should look at that for more details. See, this is a good enough idea. Again, I have a complete webinar on how to analyze your mock test. That would give you further more details. And this, what you're doing is a good idea. And as soon as you have given some 5-6 mocks, you will yourself realize what are the questions that you're doing wrong again and again. And you will be able to identify your weak areas. So don't worry about specifically thinking of identifying your weak areas. You will be able to do that if you religiously analyze every single mock. No, nothing like that. It is not that just IITians get into IIMs. There are a lot of people from many different colleges who get into IIMs. So get this out of your head. Just prepare properly and just know that your 10th and 12th and graduation score will matter. So having all this information in your mind, prepare as well as you can and you will get into a good college. See, in the end few days when I was not going to office, my daily schedule used to be around 3 hours for a mock test, 3 hours for analysis, and around 3 hours for other studies of revising, of doing some sectionals, etc. And I did not really allot time differently, but I tried to maintain a decent balance. I knew I was good in LRDI, but it also required a lot of practice and I had to ensure I was not doing any silly mistakes. So I did put in a lot of time in that as well, and I was reviewing all my class quant questions that I had done, so I put in a lot of effort there as well. So I guess, I had divided it properly and this was kind of my daily schedule. I did by time mock test series. Also, I guess with a friend, I was doing CL mock test series, but I just did one of them. I do not like the UI. I gave a free challenger mock from IIM S, and I think I also shared IIM S test series with a friend. So these were the few things that I did. I was not really giving a lot of free mocks. It is a manageable risk, but I think you should just stick on with your job till you give your CAT examination and know that you have got a decent score. Or rather, you can take a sabbatical or a long leave if that is allowed in your company. And with that, you will be able to take time out for your preparation as well, because your scores are decent enough. And I think you can get into some good college. See, it depends how much effort you put in when you gave your CAT examination. If you think that this is the score that you can get best, then it is, yes, advisable to join whatever institute you are getting. And that said, you should know that whatever you are doing right now, if you think you're working and that will go probably better in 2 years rather than joining a local MBA college, then that is the way to go. So just think of those things. How to strengthen your CV? Well, I think the best and the overall way to strengthen your CV is whatever you are doing, just put in a lot of effort in it, okay? If you put in a lot of time and effort in anything that you're doing, you will reach a few, you will definitely reach and get a few achievements which you can put in your CV and which will strengthen it. I think that you should see a doctor rather than asking me online. That would be step 1, and then do whatever the doctor says. Your scores are decent to get into IIMA if you get a good percentile. 72 might be a little bit tricky, but I think if you get a really good percentile, you can get in, because you will get the academic background diversity benefit. And well, if you do not want to really do a government job, then it's okay if you do not want to give UPSC. And well, the major companies, obviously they have a preference for people from very good colleges, but then if your overall profile is strong, then it is not that they will not shortlist you. No, every single score in your academic history matters. It is not just that your CAT score matters. So well, I mean, everything has some kind of weightage which you can see for individual colleges on their websites. I think you should go for time classes because they have been well tested. I'm not really sure about test funda. There are a lot of online classes that are starting, but there are very few people who are enrolled, and I'm not really sure about their quality. See, I think with these kind of scores, it is very difficult for you to get into any good MBA college. What rather you should do is build your profile, get a good job if you can, and then build your career within that job. Further, if when you work like 3-4 years, if you feel that you want to switch and do an MBA, you can go to ISB or do an executive MBA. With current scores of your class 12th and your CGPA, it is very difficult for you to get a good college. Yes, our summer placements were done in October end, and I'm currently interning in the company I got placed in. It's a decent score. I mean, obviously, because it is less than 80%, it is a bit tricky for you to get into IIM Ahmedabad. That said, if you get like really good percentile, you are able to get 100 percentile and crack the PI completely, then you might get in. Yeah, I understand that it was not possible for you to be working and doing this, but see if you can get like some kind of internship or some kind of volunteering work that, once you are done with that, you will have something on the side while preparing as well, and you will have a talking point in the interviews as well. Well, frankly, it is a bit difficult. I mean, LDR anyway is a bit difficult, and handling marriage is a bit more trickier. There was no real reason. We did not decide on whether it's completion of my studies or not. It was just that we were in the right state of minds. We did not have anything else which was stopping us a lot, or we were like very peaceful at that time, and we thought that this would be the perfect time to get married, and hence we did. Frankly, it's a bit tricky because it is already tricky if you have something like 70s scores in your 10th and 12th, and if she has 60s, I do not think it's really possible to get at least into the top 3 IIMs. She might get into the rest if that is something that you want to target. I tried to complete all the class worksheets that were possible in the class itself. There were a few given for home, and I did try and see if I was able to complete them, and I mean, I would say that I at least tried 50% of them. That was it. It is definitely possible. There are a lot of people who do that, and if you know that if you actually given enough time to your preparation, then you can definitely do that. Well, if you are doing freelancing work, then that is okay. That can explain your gap, and you can say that your existing job was really hectic, and just be frank about it in the interview. Also, I mean, your score in 12th and your BTech is a bit low for top IIMs, but yes, definitely you can get into some IIMs and MDI, SPGN, etc. So it would be possible for you if you like, but given that you just scored 40 percentile, then well, I think you'd really need to take out a lot of time and prepare for your examination, understand where you are going wrong, what you can do better, and what quickly you can do better. All the best. Hi, yes, your academic profile looks good, and given that you are from reserve category, I think you should be able to get a call. My take is that the interviewers are not stupid, and they will figure out if you are like flatly lying about something. if you want to show some kind of work experience, I think you should have decent enough knowledge about that place. And well, you cannot really risk showing some fake experience just because you want to build your profile. What if they really figure it out and then you'll just lose all your chances.
So, guys, this is it from my side this week. And well, I am currently working in BCG, as most of you know. It's a very interesting and hectic case. And I am going to Dubai on the 30th for the PNG CEO Challenge Finals. So, these are the updates from my side. Hope to see you soon again.